Good morning, beloveds. Happy Groundhog Day. Um, I, Two things happened. One, it's raining still. Um, so Tom turned my alarm off and I went back to sleep. Uh, and then three, or two, the other thing is because I was in the house this morning, I watched the weather about, or the news report about all of the groundhogs, and apparently the two most famous groundhogs, there's more than one. There's actually 6 or 7 or 8 that are pretty famous. The two most famous both saw their shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter. I don't know what that means down here. Yes. Most of the time you'll see the memes going, not you, Texas. You do your own thing. So we are, what, day 3 of winter weather. I don't even think it got out of the 30s here. And when I say that, it was like 37 all day. That's it. 37 all day. I don't think it touched 40. Today it's supposed to get to 44, although the app on my phone says 41. So we'll see. Because it's raining right now. I live on the north side of the north side of Houston, and it's not raining downtown anymore, below I-10. I live north of I-10. So we'll see what it does all day today. At least, because I've seen the pictures from my people, my friends that live up north, and there's one picture that I saw where she's pushing on the ice as hard as she can, and that it's not moving. It's ice. So if you're, anywhere north of us and dealing with this, please be careful, because yeah, us Southerners, we don't know how to drive in that, which is why I try not to. All right. We have a very specific title today, so we'll see what spiritual comes out of this. It is February 2nd. Our title is If Seeking a Change of Jobs. The first quote is, in all thy ways acknowledge it, and it shall direct thy paths. And that is Proverbs 3:6. God is forever doing new things, and when we conceive new ideas, it is an act of divine projecting itself into creation. And that is Science of Mind, page 273. We can trust the cosmic purpose that impels us into new ventures, since it was for some cosmic reason that we came forth as ourselves in this world. We can best attain inner security, which impels us along the right path in our life's work, by remembering that something greater than we are indwells our being and seeks expression. Thought carefully about our employment perspective, considering the various factors involved and trying to judge the good and bad points, we need to accept that right action is taking place in our business affairs. We must have faith that we are clearly guided by indwelling wisdom in making all of our decisions, accepting the best outcome for the good of all concerned. I have complete peace of mind and a sense of security with regard to my financial income, my job, and my ability to improve myself year by year as my life unfolds. I am in my right place always, and if this means a change in actual employment, then this will be accomplished under the right circumstances and at the right time. I know there is a right and wonderful work for me, and I let no thoughts of doubt or of limitation hinder my being led to it. I express the good wherever I am and accept the good which is returned to me. That is CC. That is Craig Carter. Which makes you wonder sometimes with some of these, especially when they've got very specific titles like that. It's like, did somebody write into the Science of Mind magazine and say, hey, how do I treat for this? So I suspect that may be part of the situation here. Somebody treated in and said, well, I'm looking for a new job. How? And that's one of those, looking for a new job, treating for a new job, is one of those very explicit expressions of treat and move your feet. Okay? Because you can treat for a new job. Absolutely. I fully encourage you to treat for a new job. Ask everybody that you want to treat for a new job for you, if that's what you want. And then you have to go out and apply for jobs. You can't just sit there and wait for a new job to happen to you. Okay. Now, that being said, sometimes when we treat for a new job, what will happen is circumstances in our job or even in us will shift, and the job that we have becomes new again. So just because we're treating for a new job doesn't mean we're going to leave the job that we are in. What we might do is realign with the job, or in the most explicit case that I can give you is I was very unhappy at this particular job, and so I did a new moon ritual where I literally treated for a new job, and then what happened was a couple of people in the upper echelons of management left, rearranged some of the people that I was working with on my level, and hired new people, and suddenly my job got a whole lot better. So I got a whole new job without ever actually leaving my job because the people around me shifted. And to some degree, what happened was within me, I was willing to shift my perspective on my job. And sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes it takes coming into alignment with who you are in a job, and then you see your job from a whole new perspective. Sometimes what happens is when you treat for a new job, then people around you in the job that you are doing shift. Your job changes. It's a whole new job. Is it better or worse? Well, that's up to you to determine. But that's what can happen. And then sometimes what happens is you get a new job. But again, this is one of those treat and move your feet. If you want a new job, treat for a new job. Treat to the utmost of your ability. Ask all your friends to treat, the friends, family, people that care about you, practitioners, ministers. Ask us to treat for a new job. Great. We love to do that. And then you got to go do the work. You got to go and put in the applications and do the interviews and things like that. So that the right circumstances will happen. All right. That's the interesting part there. Where, all right, okay, you have treated, but you got to put yourself out into the flow. And I think he says that in there. But what he is leaning into is remembering who you are. Yes, we need to accept the right action is taking place in our business affairs. We must have faith that we are clearly guided by indwelling wisdom in making all of our decisions, accepting the best outcome. So he's saying, look, treat for it and then accept the guidance, accept that you will be guided to the right place at the right time with the right people. So I'm a big believer in the treat and move your feet. Because you never know when that inspiration is going to strike you. And sometimes it is as simple as, I will tell you the job that I currently have and I have been at for 17 or so years. I was at a job. I had gotten injured. And my brother had this interview with a rep that said, hey, I hear you're coming to Houston to visit your sister. If you'll come to our plant, we'll pay for your plane ticket. So he got a free flight. I got a free lunch. And then in having a conversation with one of the reps while when I took my brother to tour this plant, I was like, oh, that sounds like an interesting idea. Let me check into that. I walked into my local health food store and they happened to be hiring at the moment. I didn't need anything. I was going to buy this thing to prep for the knee surgery that I was going to have. And that's how I got, and I wasn't even, I wasn't necessarily looking for a new job, but I had gotten injured and it was making doing my old job difficult. And so that's how it happens. I was guided by circumstances and I followed I followed the guidance, and that's how it can work. So sometimes you're not even looking for a job. You may be taking care of something else and walk into a situation. Okay? So when I say treat and move your feet, yes, it is about actively updating your resume and actively applying for jobs and actively going on interviews. But it's also a little bit about going about your daily life and walking into situations that you weren't aware of because, hey. So, and the job that I have now, they interviewed me the Friday before I had surgery on Monday. They called me the Friday after, which I didn't get the message because I was in physical therapy at the day. So I called them back the following Saturday. They offered me the job and said, how long do you need? And so this is a week past my surgery, and I looked at them and said, give me 2 more weeks. So 3 weeks after I had knee surgery, now it was orthoscopic knee surgery, so, not that big of a deal. I started at the job that I have been at for 17 years. I wasn't even looking for a job. Not actively. That's the way these things can happen. Did I need a new job? Yeah. Do I love the job that I've had? Mostly. It has its days every day. Mostly I love my job, and then every now and again there will be a day that I'm like, are you kidding me? Why I got out of bed for this? But that's just the human experience, and we accept that and move on. So, treat and move your feet, but be open to the possibilities. That new definition of patience. Patience is what you do while you're waiting for things to happen. That's kind of how I feel, how I feel, because I was out on medical leave from the job that I had, and got myself a new job that I stayed at a lot longer than I expected. So, and that job has no intention of letting me go. So when I say treat and move your feet, it's not just about the direction of what you're treating for. Sometimes it's treat, go about your daily life, and look for the guideposts. So, all right. I don't know. Did he give us? All right. I'm going to use the last line in his treatment at the bottom for the mission today. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to express good wherever we are and accept the good which is returned to us. It's a good mission. It is a good mission. The second part is this, the same thing I suggest every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Point is to practice. It is absolutely about self-care. I make no bones about that. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. It is about self-care. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot serve from an empty well. So you must take care of yourself. Okay? That's part of the spiritual practice, is to take care of ourselves. And it is about creating a habit, a default setting, a first response. The more often you practice love, kindness, and compassion on yourself, you create a bank of it. You create a bank of love, kindness, and compassion. It is also a spiritual practice of seeking the center of your being, seeking the source of your being, which is an infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. And when you plug into that regularly, you create a well-worn path. And then, no matter what happens, you can respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately to yourself and to others. Because we are all going to meet people who need a little extra. And when we have enough to share, it's a good thing. Now, I say it's about self-care. I also remind you it is about joy. It is about making room for joy in your life, no matter what is going on. I say eat dessert first. It's one of the suggestions that I make about this. Well, that also means, because it's a metaphor, sometimes I mean it literally, eat dessert first. And sometimes always what I mean is don't save the good stuff. Your life is a special occasion. Treat it as such. Use the good china. Eat the good cut of meat. drink the good stuff, whatever that stuff is. Be it, splurge a little on the hot chocolate. All right? Make room for joy. Take care of yourself and make room for joy. You are a beloved child of God. You deserve it. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. So take that deep breath. Take that nap. Take that rest. Take that class that you've been thinking about taking. Learn that new skill. All of that is loving, kind, and compassionate with yourself. Treat and move your feet. Okay? All right. And we stop because we have discombobulated ourselves. It's one of my favorite words. I love that word. Do something to engage your mind and your body. The weather has been particularly awful lately. I have been taking extra rest within this cold and wet. I like cold. I like wet. I don't like wet and cold. So I have been resting. It's as close as I'm going to get to hibernation. So, but I'm still doing, getting up and engaging the body and the mind, and even if it doesn't look like exercise, I'm still doing it. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. When we've got the heat running all the time, we can get a little extra dehydrated. So make sure that you are drinking, making sure you're drinking enough, if not a little extra. Your skin will thank you. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light. The sun is supposed to be back tomorrow, because we haven't seen it in about 4 days now. So I'm looking forward to that. But while I'm waiting, artificial light does work. It's called a circadian rhythm. It is a hormone rhythm, and it is affected by as simple as bright light. Please look it up. It's science. And when you can help support your natural circadian rhythm, you have more energy during the day. You sleep better at night. It's a thing. So please feel free to look into it. But early in your day, bright light. If you get up before the sun, artificial light can work. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Big believer in self-care. And then, in the words of Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven. Right here, right now. It's all around you all the time. Honest. Because it's a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. So when we work on our state of mind, when we work on our state of consciousness, we are creating a path. We are creating a groove that we can slip into that teaches us that heaven isn't a place. But when we learn this state of mind, it can become any place. And more importantly, it can become every place. And that is why I call it a superpower that we're all born with. It absolutely is a superpower. But every single one of us come with it pre-installed. It's called the Christ consciousness. One of the terms for it. Christ consciousness. And the password to activate that is love. All right? Practice it. Practice it, practice it, practice it. And one way to do that is to take Emma's advice, look for the good and praise it. All right. And moving on into social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Channel, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Please check us out, follow us, like us, share us. We try and make sure that there is great content on there. Good content, great content. So that you have, and occasionally we will say things that you need to hear. Mostly about self-care. Big believer in the self-care thing. Please, and if you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That will create you, that will get you onto the constant contact, which if you're not getting and you have signed up for it, check your spam filter. It's constant contact. Emails don't like them, so they send them to spam, because there are multiple recipients. But the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it will either take you right to, i.e. the YouTube channel. When you click on the Soul Session playlist, it will take you right to the Soul Session playlists. And there's some good stuff on there, so feel free to click there now. And then, or it'll take you to the person that'll help you get the information. So, all right, this is where I'm at. Yes, You got all of that? So have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a one last day of staying dry day, one more day of bundling up and staying warm, not worrying about the 6 more weeks of winter day, Groundhog Day, which is a good movie. I recommend it. It's kind of funny. Get stuff done day, or a sleep in a little bit extra day, or go to bed early day. That's an option too. Take a nap day, a bundle up and take care of yourself day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. As I've said before and will say again, you are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are spirit in action. You are God in motion. You are a divine channel, which lets that love, that divine love, into this world in all of the amazing ways that you do. All right. Take care of yourself. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you on Facebook Live. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Absolutely. And know that you're loved. And I will see you next time.